In this video, we talk how to use SACADA-2 to generate author new scenario based on the existing scenarios, and then convert it to the debriefing format for debriefing in the debriefing room. Before talk about the authoring, that this new version of the SACADA-2, once installed, will create generate two new folders in under the data folder. That's a crew debrief and the crew report. These two folders need to let the crew have access. All the other folders only can be accessed by the instructors. So now let's open the SACADA-2. In this example here, that we go to the authoring, and then to make a scenario from the old scenario that we want to do is to click the more plus more button and then open scenario. These are my old scenario. In this case, we want to combine 21602 and 21719, these two scenarios, to generate a new scenario. So what I want to do is one at a time. Now let me select the 21602 scenario and then click open. This will bring up this 21602 scenario. Now I want to add another scenario into this scenario. That what I do is also use the more, and then this time I will use the import scenario. This import scenario will let me select a scenario and then attach to the end of this scenario already on the screen. So now I have a new scenario that what I need to do is the first, let's select scenario name here, and I change the scenario name. Change the scenario name, and then also that the corresponding year and cycle, and in that I can do the save. When save there, that need to enter a name that is better that we have a file name and the scenario name are identical. You can save it. Once it's saved here, that we can start to do our manipulation of the scenario. Say that I want to remove this mail function. I can select it and then right click and then remove. And then say that the red path I want to move up. I can select it, and either the right click that's selecting move up, or that I want select it, I can use the on the other side that this up and button down button to make it move down. And the same thing that we can apply to these elements. Can right click to remove or the move up, move down of these elements. One thing that because this old scenario was imported from the SACADA-1, some of this calculation information may not carry over. So that I would ask you to, once you're done with the modification, assume that this is the final scenario we want. That make sure you check all of these every element calculation, that to make sure that everything is there. So see this in this case that information then careful is monitoring, and then assume that this is alarm. Oh, that's the other information is there, and then the overarching issue. These are the two important tabs to provide information. and just make sure that everything is there. So once the scenario is done, that select the top and then check the complete. So that the complete button that is checked now, that's because it will change this. Now is in the draft version that will become the final. That's indication. Okay, this scenario has been complete. See that it's final, and now we can just be safe. That make sure that we save it again. Save. So now we have authored a new scenario. Now we want to do is that generate the debriefing formats of this scenario. To do that is quite easy. That's in the authoring portion that here I simply click export. The export button do is create the debrief this author scenario in the debriefing format. So and then it's saved in the based on the year and cycle. So now we have 2024 cycle 1. That's if we go to that folder with data authoring not debriefing data debrief. Remember this debrief is protected folder that only the instructor can access. The NRC and now it create 2024 and then cycle 1. This place has 11 crew. That's because my database I set up the 11 crews. So this all these are the identical scenario but just in debriefing format. Once done with this, the instructor another thing to do is put this scenario, the debriefing format, prepare for the debriefing. So now what it's going to do is that instructor will put this debriefing scenario into unprotected folder. To do that, and then add the password. To do that is that the instructor would go to the debriefing and then open. So the 2024 cycle 1 said 1 alpha. Assume the crew 1 alpha is going to run the simulation, so that instructor come in here and then bring up, use the SACADA software, bring up this 1 alpha folder and then click the expose. The expose button is that will move this debriefing scenario from the protected folder to an unprotected folder and then add a password. Now this please has a system automatically generate password that I don't like it. I set up my own password and then OK. And now this asks me to save into a. It already specified the crew debrief folder. This crew debrief folder is an unprotected folder. So now yes, that's the place I want to. When I click save, the system, the SACADA-2 will move the 1 alpha debriefing scenario from the protected folder to the unprotected folder. That's a crew debrief folder, and then password, add the password. So everyone want to access that debriefing scenario need to have a know the password. So now assume that I'm operating crew just done with my simulation run and crew alpha 1 alpha and come to the debriefing room. I want to do my debriefing. That I can use my crew login to the computer in the debriefing room and then bring up the SACADA. And this place here that I want to do the debrief, and then I can open. It will in this case, because this crew only have access to the two the crew debrief folder and the crew report, these two folders. So that these are the two folders they will see in their computer. I'll assume that now I'm a crew, that I go to a crew debrief, that bring up my debriefing the scenario for debrief, and then I need to enter the password that the instructor entered for this scenario that I'll open. So now I am crew alpha that in this case here, that's the first thing I want to check if all the people here are identical, are the right people perform this scenario. If not, that I need to do change. Okay, assume that this crew done with the debriefing. Assume the crew done with the debriefing, and then that save the scenario. And what the crew want to do is that that's done, and then make the status is complete. So now this complete, and this complete that it will say two things. It will save the file, and then it also generates a debriefing report in Excel format. This report was saved in the unprotected folder, the crew report, this folder. So the save, and you bring out the Excel. That's from here that we see that it provides some the description of this scenario, and then the performance statistic, and then the crew and their position. And each tab represent a performance of a mail function. So the debriefing report was saved in the crew report. That this folder is set up to clean up every 15 minutes, so that within 15 minutes the crew want should either move this file to any folder they are accessible, or the email this file to whoever need to see the crew performance. Um, Otherwise, that within 15 minutes, that all the file within this folder will be removed, deleted. So now crew done with this briefing, and then save, and then that they can close, and then log out the computer in the debriefing room. So next step is the instructor. Instructor is now is going need to move this debriefing file, crew one alpha debriefing scenario, from the unprotected folder to back to the protected folder. So that an instructor need to do is the instructor log in to the computer with their login, so they have access to the protected folder, and from there that go to the debriefing and open that you need to go to the SACADA-2 data. That was a crew debrief folder. That was this was this is unprotected folder, and then open that the one alpha cruise from, and this time is again ask for password. So the instructor need to enter the password and open it. So the scenario is open. That's put it back to the protected folder is by clicking the conceal. The conceal button is do the two things. First thing it say that you want to move this back to the a protected folder. Yes, this is a protected folder, and then there's one R was missing. And the second one, that's yes, once I save, it also removed the password of that file, and then they close it. So now next time that an instruction said go to open, this is protected folder, open that one alpha scenario. That the password is no longer needed because the password has been removed, and so that this conclude that the how to author a scenario from the old existing scenario, and generate uh, debriefing format of the scenario, and then that move this debriefing scenario from the protected folder to the unprotected folder with then added the password and then move the debriefing scenario back to the protected folder and remove the password.